Hey guys, we're doing math class right now, page 283 and 284. Go ahead and go through and circle the problems that I give you so that you know which problems we're going to be doing. We're going to be doing on 283, number 1, number 2, and number 3, but only letter A. So 1 and 2, all of it, and then number 3, just letter A. And then we're also going to be doing number 4. Number 5, we're not doing any of it. Number 6, just letter A. Number 7 and number 8 we'll skip. And then in that homework section at the bottom, we'll do number 2 from that homework section, just letter A and B. So today we're going to be doing something called averaging numbers. Now, I don't know if this is something you guys have ever done, and it seems like kind of a lot of work because there's two really big steps that are involved, and if you're not careful, you could get the wrong answer. But I always thought that this was fun, and when I was your age, I really hated math, but I always thought that this was one of the funner things in math. So hopefully this will be a little bit easier for you. So what we're going to do, there's 2 steps that we need to remember. First, we add, and then we divide, and then we're done. So that's only 2 steps. So first we'll add, so for example, number 1, letter A, we have number 77, 63, and 49. So we're going to add those 3 numbers together. So let's put those on the board. 77, 63, and 49. This is what you should have in your book. Now you notice underneath this I wrote a line like this and an addition sign next to it. You notice how your numbers are already lined up like this? So at the bottom of it, draw a line and then put an addition sign next to it, and you just made an addition problem. So that should make it a little bit easier for you when you're trying to do it, so you don't have to go through and rewrite your numbers and everything. So underneath, draw a line, addition sign, and then just add it. That's the first step. Once you do that, you're done with half the problem. So let's go ahead and do this. 7 plus 3 is 10, plus 9 is 19. Carry the 1. 9 goes down here. 1 plus 7 is 8, plus 6 is 14, plus 4 is 18. So now we have to do division. But here's the problem. They have a division sign up here like that. So we know that we need to divide. But what numbers do we use to divide? Well, that's what we need to think about right now. Okay, so whatever answer you get in your addition problem, that's going to be one of your numbers. So I have 189 is my answer to my addition problem. So 189 goes right here inside that box. So that's the first part. The second part, and this was the part I always thought was really, really fun whenever I learned how to do this in math class, was the numbers that originally were added together. However many numbers were added together, you count them. So 1, 2, 3. You have 77, 63, and 49 that were added together. So that's 3 numbers that we added together. So we're going to do 189 divided by 3 because there are 3 numbers that were added together. So we have 189 divided by 3. 189 came from down here. 3, we counted how many numbers were added together. And now we have my division problem. And now we just divide. So I have 3 will go into 1 0 times. 3 will go into 18. However, more than that, it will go into it 6 times. 6 times 3 is 18. Subtract. 0, 0 is smaller than 3, so it's a good comparison. Bring down the 9. And 3 will be divided into 9 how many times? Right, 3 times. And my answer, when I am supposed to average, is 63. So, when it says find the average, or they want you to circle the answer, I just boxed it, but still, answer is still 63. So, I put these numbers together, I added them, I got 189, and then I came over here and put my answer from my addition problem. I counted how many numbers I added, put that number here and divided that, and that was my answer. My answer is 63. Make sure you have that in the blank. I want you to try to do letter B on your own, okay? It's 931 and 669. Remember, you're going to add those two together. Whatever your answer is, you put in that division sign, and then you count how many numbers you're adding together. 931, 669, that's 2. So whatever answer you get, you'll be dividing by 2. All right, we have our 931 and our 669. Let's go ahead and add these together first. 9 plus 1, of course, is easy. That's 10. 6 plus 3 is 9 plus 1 is 10 again. And 9 plus 1 is 10 again. Plus 6 is 16. And we're going to take this 1,600 that we have down here. We're going to write it over here in my division sign. 1,600. I have 2 numbers that I added together to get 1,600. So over here I'm going to divide by 2. 2 will go into 1 0 times. 2 will go into 16 8 times. 8 times 2 is 16. 16 minus 16 is 0. 0 gets brought down, and I'm kind of looking at this. 2 will go into 0 0 times. 0 times 2 is 0. Subtracted is 0. 0 is smaller than 2. Bring down the 0. 2 will go into 0. Again, 0 times 2 is 0. Minus is 0. So my answer is 800. Now, something that I did want you to notice, with this number specifically, with this problem specifically, 931 is my larger number. 669 is my smaller number. So I have a larger number and I have a number, of course, that's smaller. Now, if you're adding the same number more than once, of course, they're the same amount. But I have 931 is a bigger number, 669 is a smaller number. The number 800 is smaller than 931, but 800 is larger than 669. So my answer, whatever my answer is going to be, it's always going to be the number that is the most middle between these numbers. So if there's a list of like 5 numbers and they're all different random numbers, whenever we average it, that's the number that is just the most middle. It's never going to be bigger. My answer, when I'm averaging, is never going to be bigger than my largest number that I added. And it's never going to be smaller than my smallest number that I added. And that might be something, it's not necessarily a check that we might learn in math class, but that might be a good way for you to check your answer. When you get your answer, take your answer, and then look at the numbers that you added together and say, okay, well, what's my biggest number? Okay, well, this answer needs to be smaller than that. Okay, what's my smallest number? Okay, this answer needs to be bigger than that. Or, okay, what's my biggest number? Okay, my answer right here needs to be smaller than my largest number here. Okay, what's my smallest number? Okay, my answer here has to be larger than my smallest number. So that might be a good thing to keep in mind when you are averaging. And keep that in mind for number 2, letter A and letter B. Could 28 be the average of 36 and 49? Well, we have 36 and 49. Is 28 larger than 49? 49 is my larger number? No, it's smaller. And 36 is larger than 28. So 28 is is 28 between the numbers 36 and 49? No, 28 is smaller than 36. So if I were to put these numbers in order, it would be 28, which is what I want my average to be. And then my next largest number would be 36, and my next largest number would be 49. 28 would have to be between 36 and 49 for it to be the average, and it's smaller. So 28 could not be the average between 36 and 49. Letter B, I have 84 being the average of 35 and 49. So I have 35. And the next largest number out of those three is 49. And the next largest is 84. 84 would be the number I want to be my average. But 84 is not between 35 and 49. It would have to be right here, but it is not. So 84 could not be the average between 35 and 49. So both of those are not able to be the average because of where they stand in the number line. Go ahead and look at the story problem on page 283. Number 3, letter A says, Ethan's spelling grades are 93, 80, and 91. What is the average grade? So this is kind of something that's the way I figure out y'all's grades. Same exact way. So I have to take Ethan's grades. He has 93, 81, no, I'm sorry, just 80, 80, and 91. So the grades need to be added. 3 plus 0 is 3, plus 1 is 4, 9 plus 9 is 18, plus 8 is 26. So 264 is the number I have right now. I'm going to divide using this number right here. Bring this number over here, 264. And then how many grades does he have? Well, he has 1, 2, 3 grades. So I'm going to divide by 3. 3 will go into 2 0 times. 3 will go into 26. Maybe let's try 8. 8 times 3 is 24. Subtract. 6 minus 4 is 2. 2 is smaller than 3. Bring down the 4. I have 24 again. Well, I just found out that 8 times 3 is 24, so I think that 3 will go into 24 8 times. 8 times 3 again is 24. Subtract, and it's 0. So his average grade is 88. Number 4 on page 284, right here. Let's go ahead and do that one together. If you have not already done it, I want you to go ahead and pause. See if you can do it on your own. Go ahead and challenge yourself. If you've already done it, let's go ahead and do it. So I have 7. We'll go into 8. How many times? I think that would probably be 1. 1 times 7 is, of course, 7. Subtract. 8 minus 7 is 1. 1 is smaller than 7. Bring down the 4. Now I have 7 will go into 14. Well, I know that 2 times 7 is 14, so I'm going to put 2 up here. 2 times 7 is 14 minus 0. 0 is smaller than 7, and then bring down the other 0. Well, now I have 7 will go into 0. I know that one's really, really hard. But if we think about it, everything will go into 0 times. So we'll put 0 up here. 0 times 7 is 0. Going to minus. I still have 0. You notice how I had 0 right here, and I have 0 right here? I could have used a shortcut, and it would have cut out all that 0 times 7 is 0, and then minusing 0. It would have cut out those steps, and I know that timesing 0 and minusing 0 and stuff, that's easy, but it just is a matter of taking up room right now. So hopefully that at least gives you a better idea about our shortcuts and why they're important. Bring down the 2. And now I have 2. 7 will go into 2. How many times? Well, 2 is smaller than 7, so we're going to say 0 times again. So, 0 times 7 is still 0. Subtract 2 minus 0 is 2. Now, if I was going to write this as a fraction, I would take this remainder right here and write it on my top number, and then 7 right here would go right here. But it doesn't say in the instructions, and they want us to check. So I'm not gonna write my remainder as a fraction, I just kind of wanted to at least review it so I could, we could go over it very quickly. But my remainder still is 2, and I still do need to check. So go ahead and do the check. I'm not gonna do it on the board with you. I think you can do the check on your own. So go ahead and do the check on your own. Number 6, letter A, we're finding out the change, and of course that's just subtracting, and then whatever the dollar amount is, you need to figure out how many $10 bills you're using, how many $5 bills you're using, how many $1 bills you're using, and then quarters, dimes, nickels, and pennies. Okay, we did that, I believe in the last video, or maybe 2 videos ago, maybe now, but I'm not going to do that on the board. I want you to go ahead and do it on your own. There's only one of them there for you. And then number 2 at the bottom of that page again is that homework section, the just letter A and B. And again, it's writing your remainder as a fraction, which we just went over. So go ahead and do those things. And when you are finished, you are finished.